Hello and welcome back to ThoughtBot's AI in Focus. I'm ThoughtBot developer and CEO Chad Pytel, and with me today is Rob Whitaker, our Director of Software Development for our team in EMEA. Rob, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, I always forget to say that bit at the beginning that I'm developer as well. So yeah, I'm developer and Director of Software Development. So yeah.
Well, that's good. It's an exciting day around these parts as we are going to continue on from last week's stream where we planned out our new product and we're going to actually start development. And we're really starting from scratch today. We don't even have our GitHub repository created. So we're going to start from scratch and we're going to build up from zero. I love the smell of fresh application, Rob.
Yeah, it's scary as well. You've got this whole blank page. You don't know where to start first, I guess, like as well.
Yeah. Well, when in doubt, you just start typing,
Okay.
and we'll make it through together. I think that so to recap, what we're creating. Actually, since last week we named the product. So we are creating a AI-powered Ruby on Rails app generator, and it's specifically focused on creating, or the target that we're going for now is the start of applications. So specifically, when we're creating a new product with clients, we do a product design sprint. And the goal is to get to something that's testable at the end of 1 week with real users. And so we've been using our tools and techniques to rapidly create those applications, and they becoming more and more capable. And we believe that we can create an application generator that, unlike a lot of the tools out there that aren't built to best practices and can't really go to production without significant work, we think we can create something that can be created quickly, but has the base of a real backend with a real database that has tests that experienced designers and developers can take and continue to run with and bring to production. And that is ReadySetGo.
Is it wrong that I'm kind of excited about the logo that I saw mentioned on a Trello board somewhere?
We do not have a logo yet.
Okay.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll have a an episode where we actually create the logo. We'll see.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna get started. I'm not sharing my screen yet because I want to make sure that I have I'm not showing anything private. Uh, um, how do you create a new repository, Rob?
I think I've
Okay,
probably.
here we go.
But
I don't think there's anything private on this screen here. So let me share my screen. Um,
I always use the command line. I always use the GHCLI
oh,
to create
really?
stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used that to create a new repository. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so we are on GitHub here. Um, and what we're going to be doing today is spiking out to, and sometimes this is good to do. And I think this is one of those times where we have the general shape of what we're going to do, but we're really starting from scratch. And so we want to get to working software as quickly as possible so that we can understand the shape of what we're doing. So then we can do actual test driven development and build out the thing. So for example, I expect that we're going to end up that ReadySetGo is going to be a Rails application with a web interface that you can chat to, that you can see your application running on the side, and it's going to create your application and run it, and you're going to be able to view it. But that's a lot to do on day one, and we don't really know what the shape is. So our goal today is just to create a Ruby script that we can give a prompt to about the kind of application we're going to create. And it's going to generate the Rails app using Suspenders, have clearance in it, have Roux, which is our CSS boilerplate, and then generate the application. And so that's just going to be a script that we run. And that's the target for today. And that's going to give us sort of that spike is going to give us the shape of what we're going to do. And then we'll be able to like build up more from there. We'll see how far we actually get. We're going to try to, it's a lot for today. So we'll see where we get to. So moment of truth, new repository, ready, set, go. Oh, good. It's not taken. It's private. We don't need to start with a template. We can add a README.
Yeah, I think this is what I do normally. I think I create a new repo on my machine, and then I create an empty commit that's just called initial commit, and then push that up and then go from there. I think that's what I usually do.
Oh, that's interesting. It's been a little while since I created a new repository. You can jumpstart it with Copilot here.
What are we doing then? Just tell Copilot, and it'll save us a whole bunch of work.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got this. And go over to our editor. And I'm struggling here on the basic thing. My
What are you looking for?
macOS has started to group things by date, and I don't understand why.
Are you just looking for a ready, set, go?
Yeah.
If you do Command Shift G, it will bring up like a thing where you can just put in the directory. Well, there is.
We're in for a treat here today, as I struggle with basic things.
Computers are hard. But yeah.
What'd you say?
Computers are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm using Zed. I've been using that on the stream for a few months now. So preempting that question. Okay, so as a reminder, we're creating a Ruby script that takes our app idea, generates a new Rails app using Suspenders with Clearance and Roux. So I think we need a gem file.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are you going to put in the gem file? Why are we having a gem file?
Good question, because I was going to put Suspenders in it.
Okay.
Now you got to see how I write a gem file from scratch here.
Source. Is that right? I'm just going off. Yeah. It's outside the scope of this, but if you were just writing one script, you can inline the gems at the top of the script, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I can't remember how to do it. I've seen it in like when people are running tutorials and stuff, but I've never done it in practice.
Okay. So Suspenders is where we can start. Is it tool_versions?
Oh, it might be all one word. Let me have a look. I've got on my machine.
It's interesting how much.
It's tool dash versions. It's a kebab case.
Tool-versions.
Yep.
It's interesting. Like, I guess we don't need to create a tool versions file, but like, I feel like there's some stuff here where like, how do we know to do this, right? 348.
What where this is what? How do we
I guess I just sometimes wonder, like, someone starting out, like, this is sort of what ReadySetGo is hoping, like, someone non-technical is going to like Lovable or something like that and getting a lot of stuff taken care of them and ending up with something running really quickly. But but that's not Rails, that's not Ruby, that's not, and so we're going to be doing that. But like, even just these little things here, like, we don't need to create a tool versions file, but like, I'm doing it because I know it's going to help us to have that.
It's also interesting as well because when you do run Suspenders, it gets the Ruby version and puts it in the README to tell you which version of Ruby and which version of JavaScript the generated application works with.
So if we bundle, we're going to get Suspenders.
What's Suspenders, Chad? Did we already say that?
Suspenders is a Rails application template. So it generates a new Rails application with sort of a bunch of sensible, thoughtbot, opinionated defaults for both Rails configuration that is not standard, but we recommend, like everything down from like throwing exceptions when a translation is missing. That's not the Rails default, but there's a configuration setting to set that. If folks are interested in a good discussion about Suspenders, the Bike Shed podcast, the last episode that just came out was with Steve Polito, who's the maintainer of Suspenders. And you actually participated in what they talked about on that episode, which was the major rewrite of Suspenders that happened at the end of the year. Okay, so now Oh, I realize the banner is cutting off my. But I feel like we should have the banner. So okay. So we'll create a ready set go, and oh, I always forget the syntax for the bin.
What are you trying to do? For
The hashbang syntax that you put at the start of a script to get it to run in Ruby.
oh yeah, so it's hash exclamation mark then
There we go.
slash yeah.
Oh, this is what you're talking about. You could put it right here.
That's not doing what I expected.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we're in Ruby here, not a shell script.
Did you want it to be Ruby or did you want it to be a shell
I
script?
guess we could start with a shell script because we're going to run shell commands now, right?
Yeah.
So we can look in Suspenders because I'm pretty sure we do this there. Suspenders is a Ruby script.
It might have been in an old version.
What'd you say?
It might have been in an old version. But I think you could use a bin maybe. And that picks up the shell that you want. Is that right? Or am I just making it up? No, choose like bash or ZSH or whatever you've got installed as your default.
You're saying bin sh?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we'll try it.
Where did I get that from?
Okay, well, while we're on Suspenders, we can look up the command to run Suspenders.
As the maintainer of Thoughtbot stock files, I should know the answer to this, and that is correct. Yes.
So we need to take an app name.
What's our app going to be called?
I think we should. Yeah, we can hard code it now. Let's create a to-do application. Okay. That's going to be created inside of our ReadySetGo sort of directory, which I think is fine. So I think we could just run this and see whether it runs.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
I think we might need to make it. Oh. Yeah. 755.
I just put plus X. I can never remember what those different numbers mean.
It's working.
Ship it.
Failed to create Rails app. Where's that error coming from, I wonder? What we ended up with was a to-do list directory with a Rails app in it.
I think from my knowledge of suspenders, that's kind of like the catch-all. Oops, something went wrong
Mm-hmm.
from the suspenders bin file that you were in before.
It looks like it was trying to run this.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's not there. It's trying to find Rubocop. That's interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything? This is where I'm, as a lazy developer, I would go straight to Suspenders in GitHub and look in the issues to see if there's anything to do with Rubocop.
Yeah, let's see. There's no issues right now.
Okay. If we, to save us kind of going down to kind of, because we could go down a rabbit hole of is Suspenders working or not. If you try to run that same command outside of the scripts, just in like your home directory, would you get the same error? Because then that would kind of say, oh, this is a Suspenders thing rather than something that's up with what we've got.
Yeah.
So you might be able to send like a skip Rubocop to Suspenders for now. I don't know. I forget what the flags are on Suspenders nowadays, but it might allow us
The
to
other
move
thing
forward.
I'm thinking of is there was a release of Suspenders last week.
Do you want to try using the previous version then?
We could just try it. Is what I was thinking. The other thing is where does Suspenders think Rubocop is coming from?
Actually, that's interesting. Just go back up to the. If you go back up to the top of the output from what you just the command you just ran, I saw briefly all the way right up at the top of it. It basically said that it was running with skip Rubocop. I saw it passing the flag somewhere.
Really?
Which is interesting because it might be picking up something from your. Does it still do that? It used to pick up stuff from your Rails. There you are. Oops, I'm in the wrong window to show you.
From Rails RC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it picks up your defaults from Rails RC. So you might have skip Rubocop in your Rails RC. Yeah.
I had no idea that this file even existed.
There you go. Every day's a school day.
That's interesting. I'm going to remove the skip test too because Suspenders should just do that, right?
Yeah. And it defaults to Postgres, so yeah.
Whew. Okay. So now if we go back to ReadySetGo and we remove to-do list. Okay. I did see a failing test though. Did you see that? Oh no. It's linting.
Oh, okay.
In config initializer sidekick. Okay.
But when it says C corrected, does that mean it corrected it so it's fine now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then generate a new app with suspenders, clearance and Roux. Um, I'm wondering whether we should skip that part for now, and keep on pushing forward with the core sort of thing we're doing. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, what do you want to get out of this session? Enough that we say to, my assumption is we say to our agent, create me a new to-do list app.
Right.
And then it runs that.
Right.
So I think adding clearance and Roux would be a nice stretch goal. I think, yeah. It'd be just be interesting to say, how do we get rid of that hard-coded to-do list value?
Right.
It's an interesting question.
Right. So we could either pass that in as a command line argument,
Mm-hmm.
or we could actually like enter an agent sort of loop and type that in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the two approaches there, because like one's like inside out, where you're going like, but I think I prefer the outside in. I'd like to think about how would I be using this, or how whatever person would be using this. What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
And it might just be that every time you say something to the agent, it creates a to-do list app every single time while you're figuring it out, which wouldn't be great, but at least you know it's working. It's all the things are connected together. So I'd say let's try and make an agent.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I think we want to change ReadySetGo into a Ruby program.
Why is that?
Because we're going to write our agent in Ruby.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah.
And so we're going to, actually, I have a couple of notes here that I want to look at. Yeah. Okay. So the gem that we're going to use is Ruby LLM. I'm going to remove that to-do list application.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think we should do .env so that we can load our API key.
Yeah. Because we're spiking, I'm really having to stop myself from going into TDD mode and going, why are you adding that? But there's no errors. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call.
Okay, so I didn't
I'm
ask.
like trying to do multiple things at once, and then my phone started ringing. Let me go and
Because you're really good at holding. You're really good at holding the silence, and I was like, "Is Chad just thinking?" And I was just about to go like, "Are you going to share your thoughts with everybody else?" Or?
No, I'm going to go into do not disturb now. Um, okay, so I do have some sample code off to the side here, and but I'm hesitating because I don't know why what I'm looking at is necessary, and so I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
But we want to require um, uh, .env, and we want to require Ruby LLM. Um, and for folks who don't know, .env basically is the Ruby gem that allows you to have like .env files and automatically load the values there into your environment. Um, and so we're going to by requiring .env, we're going to automatically get things, I think.
In DuckDuckGo, if you replace that Ruby with bang gem, it'll take you to like the Ruby gem page for the.
Oh, nice. Uh, okay, so we need to call. We can either require .env/load or call .env.load. I think we can just
Mhm.
do this. Um, okay, and then we'll bring up the Ruby. So what was it that you said in DuckDuckGo? You can just do what? Bang
Bang gem.
gem.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I find that's
Thank
kind
you,
of a
Rob.
quicker way
You've
sometimes.
made your presence on the show this week worthwhile.
I don't know what to say about the first half an hour now.
Okay, so Ruby LLM is a really good gem uh, for a few different reasons. One is it integrates with a bunch of different LLMs through a common interface, uh, which is very Ruby, but it also allows you to chat, and it has a DSL for creating tools and that kind of thing. And we're gonna see all of that today. Um, so we need to tell we're not using Rails, so we're going to require Ruby LLM, which we have, and then we need to uh, just copy and paste this.
Chad, just for my own kind of
Mm-hmm.
obsessive needs, is there any way to kind of turn on Ruby syntax highlighting for this file? Because it isn't a .rb, it's not
Yeah,
picking up the
thank you.
things.
There we go.
Well, that's prettier.
It is prettier. Um, okay, and then to start a chat, we do this. Let's just do this so we can
Hmm.
see whether everything is wired up correctly.
Hmm.
These, the fact that it's single quotes drives me crazy.
The thing that's um, giving me a little twitch is I've tried, and this is really a silly thing. is that fetch falling back to nil
Yeah.
is kind of giving me a little, because
Right.
if you use, that'll throw an error. But if you
Right.
use square brackets instead of fetch, it'll fall back to nil
Right.
anyway,
Right.
which is which I was trying to figure out. But that might
Yeah.
just be, yeah.
Okay. I didn't set the key yet. So yeah, missing configuration. Okay. I'm going to go over to a terminal on the side and so it's really looking for, it's throwing an error because it's missing a configuration for OpenAI key.
If you change that to back to what it was, but without the fallback to nil, we'll know if it's picking up the key or not.
Good call.
Because fetch throws an error when there's no value for that.
Okay, so it's not, that's not where the error is coming from.
Cool.
It must, without telling it which one to use, it probably defaults to OpenAI.
In your notes on your unseen notes on the right hand side, is that what the
Yeah, that must be. But so we'll set this, but I that's not the model we'll actually use.
Okay.
But let's just see.
Okay.
So the error is Ruby middleware parse error on the model.
Do you think that maybe that model doesn't exist anymore? Because I'm looking at the stuff that you're referring to, and it's from 9 months ago, so it's highly likely that
right,
the different model. Because it's like on Opus 4.6, I think is.
Yeah. I'm looking to see what syntax, I want to find what syntax.
I always find that when I watch some of these AI and focus streams, Chad, you're much better at reading documentation and being patient than I am. Yeah, I just kind of I don't know what I do, just start searching for stuff online. You take the time to read stuff.
I think that's generally how I work, but also I found on the streams, if you don't read, you run the risk of missing something really, important, and then banging your head against it. And if you had just slowed down and read, it would.
But ironically, so I was going to say, ironically, as I've been using LLMs more, I am finding myself slowing down and reading what it's actually saying. I think it's a really important part of using these tools.
Okay, so we got our output from here. So now,
sorry, Chad, I just looked at the chat for the comments for the first time, and Jose's in the chat just answering all our questions before us. He's like, yeah, the default model should be this. Yeah, so yeah, he's ahead of us every step of the way.
He's ahead of us every step of the way. Thanks, Jose. Okay. So if we go back over to our suspenders code, we'll get an example of this. Remember, we started way back, just trying to get uh, the app name. Uh, but oh wait, we decided we're not gonna pass in. We're just gonna chat with the with the.
Yeah, it'd be good to know if we said hello. Oh no, we said we were going to just do this bit first, right? If we
Yeah.
approved this bit. So now, yeah, we said that.
So
We
that
just see if
worked.
it generated. Yeah. I'm wondering where the value in that is.
Well, it was just that we know that we've got everything wired up
No,
now.
sorry, I'm wondering what the value is of it just generating. Maybe I can't see what the code would look like to generate the suspenders, apart from you just writing suspenders new on line 17.
Right. Um, well, let's look at how suspenders calls Rails new, because that's so it uses system uh, to execute the command.
Mhm.
So
Sorry, I was sketching ahead a bit in my head
mm-hmm.
to try and figure out where does this kind of get to, because I kind of know where we want to get to
Yeah.
in terms of like after the we want so we both know that we want to introduce something called a tool, right? So is it
Right.
we're talking about that and then kind of talking about how we would put a tool into the code?
Yeah. So since we both know that we want to do that, maybe we should just uh, create a tool that runs suspenders.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm trying to do it too TDD in my head, whereas we can just throw some code at this and see if it
Yeah.
works and then come back to it.
Yeah. So if we do uh,
Could we change that to, do we want it to be a Rails application or do we want it to be a suspenders application?
how about we just say generate new application?
Love it. Love it.
And the so we have a description and then we take params.
This bit I forgot that I would be less precious with that if saying it generate a new Rails application at that point because of the coupling implication
Right.
is less. And if it's more descriptive, then it will generate a Rails application, and that's easier to change in the future than changing class names.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to take a name. Yeah. So I think we can hard code the path.
Yeah.
The name of the to-do list. I'm just going to go back over to the docs for a second because that's auto-completed call, but our example code is execute.
Do we know if it matters what that is? Is that is that an expectation of? Oh yeah, it's there. 0.4 in the
Yeah, I don't know.
No, sorry. If you scroll up, I was in tuple. I was pointing at your screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, it should be execute.
Yeah, I don't know. So we can call Suspenders new and I'm pulling that from memory from the Suspenders
Yeah.
CLI. So if we load so the syntax for this is chat dot with tools and then we can start a loop.
But before we start the loop,
Mm-hmm.
what if you now in the ask below, you asked it to generate a new application? Would it fire the tool up? So instead of what is Ruby on Rails, we say, yeah. I wonder what it would use for a name. Anyway, we'll find out, eh? Find out.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's run it as an experiment. Looks like we have a syntax error, wrong number of arguments on line 17. Oh, I auto-completed this and it's probably wrong. Yeah, it's completely wrong. String,
Okay.
symbol, description. The name of the application to create. Wrong number of arguments on the same line. What? Oh, boy, that autocomplete got way out of hand there. So it was in this whole new class that got auto-completed. That's
Okay.
like wild. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. I wondered why before, when you were doing with tools, it had another class in there. It's like, where's it got that class from?
Yeah. Okay, let's try running it again.
Looks good. What name did it use?
It used to-do underscore list.
Okay, fair. Makes sense.
Then the response said, great, I've successfully generated a new Rails application called To-Do List. The application has been created with the standard Rails structure. Okay,
That's
did
cool.
it.
Yes.
Let me remove, I'm thinking about it, remove the to-do list.
But now we're at the point where we have to run this script, and in this brave new world, these interesting times that we live in, that's not what we want to do, right? We want an agent to do it instead.
Do what?
To run that tool. We want to be the human writing that string that you're currently in instead of it being
okay,
hard-coded.
yeah, I see what you're saying. We could, or we could just we could, or if we knew the next thing we wanted to ask, we could hard code that.
Okay. It sounds like you have something in mind.
No. So it generated an application, but that's not actually a to-do list application.
Oh.
So if we were going to ask something, it would be what? It would be
I'm not sure I follow right now, to be honest.
mm-hmm.
So it generated a generic Rails app, but you're saying you want it to actually generate, are you saying that you want it to kind of do these next steps that are listed below?
Right.
Okay. Why don't we copy that first line item then and give it that as the ask?
So generate a to-do model with fields like title, description, and completed status.
At this point,
mm-hmm.
would you send two asks, or would you bundle it together? Or is that a different question because we're trying to create something programmatic?
I was thinking we're trying to create something programmatic, step by step, and sort of and set it up at each step of the way.
Okay.
So that's why I did it like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's just see. So I removed it. I want to see what it does without the ability to actually do it, without the ability to do anything.
To do anything, you mean to edit stuff, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I suspect it's going to say I can't do that.
I think it's going to do it. So that's interesting. Always wrong.
Undefined method call for nil. So I can, looking at the backtrace, it looks like it tried to find a tool to do that, got nil, and then tried to call on it.
So what tool is it looking for, and why, and how did it come to that decision of I am going to look for tool X, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, but if we give it a tool,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, and I'm wondering how fine grained the tools should be. Do we want to give it the ability to run commands within our directory and any commands, or do we want to give it the ability to run Rails generators?
Mm.
I like the idea for right now of giving it the ability to run Rails generators.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Run Rails generator.
So your thinking is that it'll get that command and then it'll find this tool that looks like it'll do what it wants.
Yeah.
And then it'll go, oh, now I'll run a Rails. Okay. So as an experiment, can we just like create? I'm interested to see if it picks it up. And so as a quick step, instead of this system, can we just do a raise the roof just to see if it actually gets this far? Does that make sense? Sometimes I like to do that. If I'm not sure how stuff works, I'll just put like raise the roof inside that method and see if it, yeah.
It took me a while to parse what you were saying about raise
Sorry,
the
yeah.
roof.
It used to be, I used to do raise hell and somebody told me it was too aggressive. And they said, then Amy Wall, who used to work at Thoughtbot, came up with raise the roof and it's more fun than raise hell. So yeah.
So
And I get to do that as well. Yeah.
yeah. So we can have params that are objects, arrays, uh, so the name of the generator to run, and then the arguments to pass to the generator. Oh, we didn't wire up our tool.
Okay.
We're gonna create so many Rails applications. Invalid array type nil must be primitive type string number array participants of
Of That's interesting. There's some sort of type system in here.
well, what it generates is a JSON schema. That's what it's actually communicating in.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, so
So we got there.
model generator to do title description. So now in our application, we have app models. It's not actually there. Oh, we didn't run
Yeah,
it.
because we didn't write the execute. Yeah, yeah.
I got ahead of myself. Yeah, that looks correct to me.
So it's always gonna be running like shell commands. It will never. Is that correct? We're always going to be calling system in these things.
Yeah.
Oh, there you do
So
because Rails is a executable. Okay, it's fine.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, the real answer is I think we might eventually introduce one of our other gems called Terrapin, which
Okay.
allows you to run safer command line things. And I'm realizing that we need to change directory um, into that, and I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, because you need to know the name of the application, right?
Yeah, so we can uh,
But would if you added, do you even need to do that?
I don't know.
Because if you add in a param of app name, I guess would
Uh,
would the LLM be able to infer it from the params and then yeah, if you added app name, it'd be able to pick up from its previous command. This fills me with so much
there we go.
anxiety. Just like allowing it to, yeah, just change it to whatever directory you want and run whatever command you want. It'd be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
um,
This approach is actually quite interesting because we, with suspenders, we talk about how customizable it is. But what if you could have an agent as part of suspenders that was asking you questions at that level that maybe is even like a level? I guess that's what they were trying to build, right?
right.
So you could send
Yeah.
different flags to suspenders. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so now in our app we have the to-do model. Um, and so part of Ready Set Go, a fundamental part of this is test-driven development. I'm wondering
Mhm.
whether we should crack into that now.
Do you want to do the chat loop or do you want to jump into the TDD now?
Mm,
I think it'd be interesting to sketch out the the chat loop and
okay.
then TD, then come back to TD. That yeah.
Okay. Sure. So let's take this and convert it into a chat loop then.
Mhm.
So if we do loop do um, and well, if we do this,
Mhm.
um, and oh, I didn't want to delete because I want to be able to copy and paste them. So we can basically replay the the thing. Um,
The interesting thing, is going to be before we had like a follow-on ask. We got to the point where you have two asks in a row,
mm-hmm.
where this now expects the human, the person, to ask both of those things. But is that what we want, or do we want eventually for ReadySetGo to kind of come up with the 4 different asks in a row?
We eventually want to ask like some questions that we would load in from the product design sprint in terms of like, or be able to feed it documentation about what the
Okay.
product would actually be and do. And I'm realizing this should be outside the loop.
Good spot.
Okay, we're going to put the content and then go back to the loop. What do you want to create today? A to-do list application.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say to-do list, but I don't think it's clever enough. Yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we can create a to-do list.
Yeah. Nice. Cool to-do list. Oh.
It's just...
Oh, because we have the tool now, so it knows it can run generators. So just to run the generators to do the next steps. Okay, cool.
Wait, what did it do?
So so if you remember the first time we ran it and we only had one tool,
mm-hmm.
and then it gave us like 4 steps, and we were like, oh, we'll write a tool that will do the first step, and we copied and pasted that first step here onto line 49. And so now it's outputting itself generated, but then it's just automatically calling the next tool.
Well, I didn't. All I prompted was a to-do list application.
But then, so if you scroll up here, what I think's happening is it's giving you like the next steps,
right?
But the next step it gave us previously when we only had one tool was generate a to-do model with fields. So now instead of outputting that, it's finding the next tool that will work to do that.
But it also ran the generator.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because so in my mind, let me walk through this. So can you see my pointer on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So we gave it this command extensively. It's then outputted in the first time round. It outputted this line of text to generate plus the 4 lines
that can do that. So it just went ahead and did it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's super cool. I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're back at our prompt again. I think we need to be able to do a migration. So again, this brings up the question, like, I'm curious how fine-grained we want to be. Do we want to just have a tool to do migrations, to bundle install, to like, that might be a way where we don't need to worry about it going wild in our directories if we have those fine-grained tools rather than running any command at all. If we create safe tools, then we can be more confident with it, letting it just do things.
Yeah, and I like that. I always like this anyway when I'm writing code, to kind of do more concrete stuff and then abstract it later. So yeah, that makes sense, because I was even thinking like, oh, why don't we have like a tool that runs Rails commands? Why don't we have a tool that runs bundle commands? But that feels unsafe. But having a tool that runs db migrate or a tool that runs generate makes more sense.
Okay, so let's try that. Run uh, database migrations. The name of the application to run migrations in, app name, runs db migrate. And then class run bundle install. And this idea of, okay, now we're starting to see patterns, like we're passing around an app name, we're always changing into that directory. We might even be able to extract like some higher level things that allow us to do that.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm going to go on to a new line here.
I don't know if I'm unreasonably excited about what's going to happen next. I'm definitely excited. I'd go, but I don't know if that's unreasonable.
Okay. To-do list application. So I think it's going to automatically migrate, and we're not going to know that it did it though. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it printed it. We're seeing the output.
Nice.
Okay. I think that we should
I think we're at the point for test now,
do
right?
we want to start the server?
Yeah.
No. But it's got to run it in the background. Actually, this is a technical question that I'm not sure about. Like, we're probably going to want to create some like whether we want to start the Rails server within this process, you know what I'm in, within this Ruby process, or whether we want to actually just do it on the command line in the background. I don't know how to do that off the top of my head, like start a Rails app in this process.
Me neither.
But we can.
You could ask that prompt you've got in front of you that we've just created.
We start a Rails application within this Ruby process.
Yeah, I was going to say right here. Oh, just thinking. There you go.
Yeah, it's not a good answer. It didn't quite. I probably need to ask it more clearly. Okay, but
it's interesting that we've already got ourselves to a state where we have like a very bare bones chat interface where we can ask it just what we wanted to.
So if we do this, it's not gonna exit. What's the alternative? me fix that. The I think it's exec. Replaces the current. No, it's not exec. That replaces the current process. Do you know, Rob?
No, I'm trying to know. I think it's been a long time since I had to worry about anything like this. What does
Anybody in
fork
the
do?
chat know? It might be backticks. Let's look at the documentation for systems.
I feel really super uncomfortable giving backtick access to the tool.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether we can. Creates a new child process by doing one of the following in that process: passing the string command line to the shell, invoking the executable. Okay, I think this is.
And will that keep running after this process is finished then?
Well, this process isn't going to finish because we're in the chat loop.
Mm-hmm. But if you exited the chat, your server would go down, or just server stay up?
Yeah, if you quit ReadySetGo, the Rails server would stop.
Okay,
I believe.
let's find out.
We might as well open browser.
Oh, fair.
We don't need the app name for this.
Correct.
We don't even need. So.
Oh, so you're making it that generic. Okay, yeah.
So we don't need to change into the.
This is super scary because like that open command isn't just for like URLs. You could give it any file path there and it'll open it. Okay, cool.
So I think that's a good call out. Like we're going to want to verify this is an HTTP. I think it's like UIR. Yeah. But we're going to want to do that.
Yeah. I like what you did there. You thought it was going to exit. We haven't written that yet.
Yeah. So while we're doing this, another group of people at Thought is creating markdown files that are all about our best practices and those kinds of things to be fed to an agent. So we're going to either bundle those into this there we go. We're going to either bundle those into this application or have this application be able to read them in and follow them. So I did see an error.
This is super cool.
Well, it scrolled all the way up in my terminal. Address already in use. I'm already running a Rails server somewhere. Indeed I am. Okay, that's cool that it didn't break the loop though.
Mm-hmm.
It just printed out the error.
Yeah, maybe it should catch the error though, right?
Which is a whole nother level of what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we're going to feed back in the output from all these commands into the agent so that it knows what happened from running the tool.
Okay.
Okay, so what opened here was the wrong application. That's what we're seeing there. So we can recover if we say the server didn't start, try again, and then browse.
Nice. Huh? But didn't we expect it to run the migrations previously?
Yeah, it didn't. I guess it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But we can just click.
Yeah. Or maybe it did.
Oh, I deleted the application, but not the database.
Cool.
So it's user error.
Problem between chair and keyboard.
I don't know why this is going so slowly. Oh, because the server's running.
Okay.
Let's see if that killed the server. Oh yeah, Spuma shut down. So Control C out of the chat loop also Control C the server. That's great.
Okay.
What was I doing? Oh yeah. Okay.
Do we want to create them all again? Do we want to drop them all then and then start again, right? Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's start again. Ready, set, go. A to-do list.
I forgot the name of the thing and I thought you were just going ready, set, go at me then.
One thing I didn't quite realize, which is really cool, is
I have to press
that
this button.
by
Excuse me.
giving it the context of the clues that of the tools that it has, it does things more on its own than I realized just by giving it the tools. I thought
Hmm.
we were going to need to instruct it more about step by step what to do.
Yeah, that was really neat that we can just kind of give it stuff. And I think that's the interesting part of what components do we give to the tool.
Right. So,
And
for
then
example, we did not tell it to open the browser.
but we didn't
Like,
tell it to run the Rails server either. All we told it to do was give me
exactly.
yeah.
And when it comes to having an actual product, we might need to be more prescriptive, like, because we don't
Mhm.
want it to do, like, we want it to have an experience.
Mhm.
So, and if it's not consistent, then that might not be great.
Yeah. But I guess that's why we're spiking it out, because we're just trying to see what it can do. And
Right.
then you kind of go, oh, well, I want to, as we TDD it, we look at more at the edge cases, or look at like, or maybe we want to restrict it a bit more here than
Right.
the Wild West version we've got.
So we today we created the Ruby script. We created a set of tools for generating a new application with Suspenders, running a Rails generator, running data migration, bundle install, Rails server, opening the browser, and going to a URL. And we just did that to create a to-do list application, and it did all of those things, started the server, and went to the app. And we've got a basic to-do list application now.
Hmm.
Double flashes.
Nice. Okay.
Well, this is
Oh,
a
because
really
it's
good
using
start, I
suspenders,
think.
right? Yeah. I know why that is. Because suspenders has flashes built into the application. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good start, I think.
Hmm.
And it gives me an idea of the shape of this, which is exactly what our goal was. And I like the fact that we've created these fine-grained tools, not only for keeping guardrails on the application, but these are going to be really like straightforward to test as well.
Hmm.
Some of them will be difficult, but like, we'll be able to write tests for each tool.
Yeah.
And the
That's
tools are
cool.
just Ruby files, so you can literally like you can instantiate the tool and call execute and make sure it does what you want. Okay, Rob.
Nice.
Thanks
That
for
was good.
starting this journey with me.
I was ready. I was set to go. Yeah.
And thanks everybody for watching. We will before we sign off, let's talk about what we're going to do on next week's episode. So I suspect between now and then we will actually work on this a little bit. So I would like to, before we go much further, really get away from the spike and make things more real, write some tests. And so I wonder whether we should do that on next episode or whether we should do that before. And next episode, we go into more of the like, okay, yes, how do we do test driven development? How do we enforce our best practices? That kind of thing.
Enforce them as part of the created application.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's an interesting point. I don't know how I would TDD the chat loop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only thing.
Well, I talked about this on last week's episode and the podcast. I have a theory that what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a monitor agent that is monitoring the rules that we want to have, like doing TDD,
Okay.
and it will provide corrections to the coding agent if it doesn't follow them.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't know what that looks like, but
Yeah,
I'm excited to
we'll
see.
see.
That
But
sounds
basically,
interesting.
it's doing the kinds of things that we do when we're using Claude Code, where
Hmm.
like we tell it to do TDD, we tell it to write the test first, but an hour into the session or whatever, it doesn't
Hmm.
maintain that,
Yeah.
and we have to notice and say, "Hey, you didn't do it," and it'll be like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
My theory is we might eventually need to introduce an agent that's monitoring things.
But who watches the Watchmen? Like when the monitor forgets that its own rules. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's an interesting question. So next week we'll probably pick up where we've moved from the spike to something a little bit more real, with some tests and some more structure. And so we'll start working on the features of doing test driven development and that kind of thing. Okay. And writing non, because it's just using scaffold. So
Mhm.
with writing real code.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
That's
Thanks,
excellent.
Rob, for
Thank you for
joining
having
me.
me.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week.